But now Nissan is on life support. The company may not survive beyond 2025.
Remember DeLorean, Pontiac, and Hummer? These once-flourishing brands are now automotive history. But guess what? Some of today's biggest car companies are heading straight for the graveyard as well. Today, we're counting down the car brands that are struggling to survive. Will they make a comeback or vanish forever? Let's find out. Number 8, Maserati. Once a darling of luxury buyers, the Italian brand saw its American sales plummet 37% in 2024, moving just 4,819 cars. The decline wasn't isolated. In Italy, sales crashed 41%, with only 2,242 units sold. Globally, Maserati moved just 11,300 vehicles, a 57% drop from 2023, resulting in a staggering $285 million loss. So what went wrong? Maserati's decline stems from three key problems. First, the brand's marketing efforts failed to effectively communicate its luxury appeal and differentiate itself from competitors. Compounding this problem are consistent reliability issues like electrical problems, transmission problems, and engine performance concerns. Finally, the steep costs of ownership, from maintenance to depreciation, made even loyal customers question whether the prestige was worth the price. So it's no wonder Maserati is now outsold by Ferrari with 13,752 units and nearly matched by Lamborghini with 10,700 units. The situation is so dire that CEO Davide Grasso was fired in 2024, and the brand faces another hurdle: Trump's 25% import tariffs, which make its already expensive cars even pricier. With no U.S. production, Maserati is at a severe disadvantage. Unless something changes fast, the Trident brand could become just a memory in America. Up next is a doomed car brand that's owned by one of the largest automotive manufacturers in the world. Number 7, Jaguar. In 2024, Jaguar Land Rover CEO Adrian Mardell told investors the brand would discontinue several low-profit models as it transitions to an all-electric lineup. Today, Jaguar has already axed most of its vehicles, leaving only the F-Pace SUV in production. The consequences? Well, sales have collapsed. In 2024, Jaguar sold just 33,000 units globally, a staggering 82% drop from its 2018 peak of 180,833 cars. In the U.S., deliveries plummeted to a mere 13,210 units, making Jaguar's reinvention as an EV-only brand a desperate gamble. Yet industry analysts warn this shift could backfire big time, costing Jaguar 85% of its existing buyers. Making matters worse, parent company Jaguar Land Rover has paused U.S. shipments due to Trump's tariffs, further strangling an already struggling brand. With no competitive models, evaporating sales, and an uncertain electric future, Jaguar risks becoming another cautionary tale in the automotive world. Once a luxury icon, now fighting for survival. Up next is a storied car brand on the verge of collapse due to its own missteps. Number 6, Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo makes some of the sexiest cars on the road, but here's the ugly truth: nobody's buying them anymore. In 2018, Americans snapped up nearly 24,000 Alfas, and these numbers dropped significantly to just 8,865 in 2024. To put that in perspective, in March 2025, Honda sold 147,792 vehicles in the United States alone. The reasons behind this collapse are painfully clear. First and foremost, Alfa's vehicles earned a reputation for being breathtakingly beautiful but mechanically unreliable. Owners report coolant leaks appearing as early as 3,000 miles, suspension components failing around the 40,000-mile mark, and a constant parade of recalls addressing everything from dangerous fuel system leaks to faulty airbags. Even the high-performance Quadrifoglio models, which packed Ferrari-derived engines, couldn't escape these quality issues. Making matters worse, Stellantis, Alfa's parent company, has been cutting back. The exciting Quadrifoglio variants have been discontinued, leaving a watered-down lineup of just a few models. Consequently, salespeople at dealerships now struggle to overcome the brand's poor reputation when customers can easily choose more reliable alternatives from BMW, Audi, or even Mazda. While the decline of the brands we've covered seemed inevitable, these next ones will shock you. Number 5, Mini. It won't be wrong to say that Mini's identity crisis in America has reached a breaking point. The brand that once thrived on its small, quirky charm sold just 26,299 vehicles in the U.S. in 2024, a 21.5% drop from 2023, and a far cry from its 2012 peak of 76,354 sales. Even more alarming is the fact that the new Countryman SUV has a 188-day supply, piling up on dealer lots, signaling disastrous demand for what should should be Mini's flagship model. Moreover, BMW's handling of the brand has been questionable at best. The disastrous 2024 model refresh, coinciding with a company-wide recall for braking defects, left dealers scrambling. Meanwhile, the canceled electric Cooper convertible proves BMW is losing patience with Mini's underperformance. Mini used to be all about small, fun, affordable cars that stood out from the crowd. But today's models have grown bigger, pricier, and less special, stuck between regular economy cars and true luxury vehicles. The result? Sales are dropping, new models aren't resonating, and even BMW seems less interested in supporting the brand. Unless Mini gets back to what made it great, it could fade into irrelevance. Just another brand that forgot why people loved it in the first place. Number 4, Chrysler. There was a time when Chrysler stood proudly beside GM and Ford as part of Detroit's legendary Big Three. In 2005, the brand moved 649,293 vehicles across 7 different models. But today, Chrysler has been reduced to selling just minivans, and even those are struggling. The once innovative Pacifica and Budget Voyager are now the brand's entire lineup, with sales down 50% over the last decade. Chrysler's downfall has been slow but inevitable. The brand that invented the minivan failed to adapt when buyers abandoned family haulers for SUVs. The last remaining sedan, the beloved 300, was discontinued, and the promising Airflow EV was canceled before it even launched. Now, Stellantis CEO has made it clear, underperforming brands will be cut. Some analysts believe Chrysler is in worse shape today than during its 1979 bankruptcy crisis, when it needed a $1.5 billion federal bailout to survive. Back then, at least there was hope for revival. Now, without new models, no EV strategy, and shrinking demand for its only products, Chrysler may soon become just a memory in the American auto landscape. Before we reveal our final 3 brands, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Number 3, Mitsubishi. Remember when Mitsubishi vehicles were everywhere? Those days are long gone. While the brand managed to increase sales by 25% in 2024, here's the painful truth. That's less than how much Mitsubishi's Japanese counterparts sell in a month. And now Mitsubishi has made a move that might seal its fate, axing its top seller, the affordable Mirage, the very car that drove most of its 109,843 sales in 2024. Walk into one of Mitsubishi's remaining 300 dealerships today, and you'll see the problem firsthand. The lots are nearly empty, with just a handful of Outlanders and aging Eclipse Cross SUVs gathering dust. Mitsubishi's U.S. future is in trouble. By axing its most competitive model, the brand left dealers struggling with high prices and empty lots. Now, with only the Outlander holding the line, extinction is a real possibility unless something changes fast. Number 2, Fiat. It's one of the auto industry's biggest mysteries. How can Fiat sell 1.2 million vehicles worldwide, yet completely flop in America? The numbers don't lie. Just 1,528 new Fiats found buyers in the U.S. in 2024. For references, Toyota sold an average of around 6,831 vehicles per day in 2024. The only positive for Fiat is that this is a kind of surge in sales, given how the automaker sold just 605 cars in 2023. This collapse is particularly startling when you consider Fiat actually had a promising restart after its 2011 return to America. The brand peaked at 46,121 U.S. sales in 2014, showing there was initial interest. But 3 critical factors destroyed that momentum. First, Consumer Reports ranks Fiat's reliability as below average, and the cars are often at the bottom in terms of reliability and longevity compared to all other brands available. Second, their lineup of small cars isn't tempting to the American buyers who are more interested in buying SUVs and trucks. Third, the brand never established meaningful dealership presence or marketing to stay relevant. Now, with global sales dropping 11%, Fiat's parent company Stellantis faces a tough choice. Keep pumping money into a dying U.S. experiment or pull the plug for good. Number 1, Nissan. Just a decade ago, Nissan stood shoulder to shoulder with Toyota and Honda as leaders of Japan's auto industry. However, the warning lights are flashing red at Nissan headquarters for quite some time. Today, the company finds itself in what CEO Makoto Uchida bluntly calls an extremely tough situation, and that might be putting it mildly. Now, when you walk into any Nissan dealership, you'll immediately spot the first issue: an aging lineup that's lost its competitive edge. While rivals flooded the market with hybrid options, Nissan inexplicably stayed on the sidelines, missing one of the biggest shifts in consumer preferences in decades. Making matters worse, The company now faces serious exposure to new tariffs as the largest exporter of Mexican-built vehicles to the U.S. among Japanese automakers. The numbers paint a dire picture as well. Nissan's U.S. operations are sized for 8.5% market share, yet they're barely holding on to 4.5%. That gap represents billions in lost potential annually. While 900,000 annual U.S. sales might sound respectable, it's a far cry from Nissan's glory days and puts them dangerously behind competitors. Oh, by the way, there were talks for a merger between Nissan and Honda, and it fell through. The two automakers officially terminated their merger talks, ending a potential $60 billion deal. Also, two Nissan executives recently warned the company has just 12 to 14 months to survive without drastic changes. And from the outside, its collapse seems inevitable. We hope you enjoyed this video. Tap the screen for more content like this. See you in the next one.